What's up everyone, Soldier First Class here. In today's mission, we'll be discussing the love triangle in Final Fantasy VII Remake and how it will be more detailed than ever before. We'll be analyzing the recent trailers and discussing related scenes from the original game. So before I get started, I'd like to preface this video by saying that we won't be proving or disproving any ships in this video. This will be purely analytical based off of details we've seen in the trailers so far. So with that out of the way, let's keep the comments section civil and please enjoy the video. Due to technical limitations, the original Final Fantasy VII needed spectacular writing. Even looking back, the game's writing was phenomenal and is one of the reasons that it's considered one of the greatest games of all time. Body language, facial expressions, and voice inflections couldn't be included, and that's a testament to just how good it is. So now that we have these things, we'll see deeper and more powerful connections between all of the characters. So let's dive in as we look at just how detailed this love triangle can be. Starting off, we'll be talking about Aerith as she was the first of the two girls to be revealed. We got a look at her and Cloud in the May 2019 State of Play trailer. The familiar flower scene plays and Aerith asks Cloud if he's okay. He says that he's fine, but is visibly flustered. Keep in mind the reactor has just exploded right before this, so he's probably a little amped up. She offers him a flower and it's as if his whole demeanor changes. His facial expression changes and it's like he instantly calms down. It's clear even from these few seconds that there's an instant chemistry between the two. So then we got the symphonic reunion and E3 trailers, which gave us a couple different looks at the next part of the same scene. Cloud can be seen here with the flower clipped to his armor. This is a small detail, but one that shows Cloud accepted the flower. It's unclear whether we'll still have the option to turn down the flower or not, as it appears this part was entirely cinematic. In the original game, you were able to buy the flower for 1 gil, and this helped with boosting Aerith's affection rating. Now that this appears to be cinematic, it makes me wonder if the actual relationship mechanic will make a return. Before this, Cloud seems uncomfortable when talking to her, even after she hands him the flower. This is much like someone who's seen a person for the first time and is nervous to be around them because of an unspoken attraction to them. It's a natural human response to get shy around someone we find beautiful or are physically attracted to. This remake has already shown an insanely high level of detail, and with original writer Kazushige Nojima back on the project, we're seeing his skill at work again. This makes camera work and direction extremely important, as they will help convey the emotion seen in these scenes. The low texture polygons made this impossible in the original no matter what camera angle was used. Moving on, Cloud looks on as Aerith waves her arms at invisible beings, and it isn't until the camera zooms in on her grabbing his hand that he can see them. Whether it be their connection to each other or her ability as a Cetra, Aerith unlocks Cloud's ability to see the Watchman of Fate. This is kinda where it gets tricky, because eventually we got to see the Tokyo Game Show trailer and the entire crew can see the ghost-like creatures. The sudden zooming in on both his hands and eyes is where the developers are emphasizing a connection between the two characters. During the Tokyo Game Show trailer, we see Cloud and Aerith right before Reno walks in. This is in the church right after Cloud has fallen through the roof. She's seen here slightly smiling at him, and it's clear the two are having a pleasant conversation. In the original game, Cloud and Aerith are flirting, discussing the church, the flowers, and sharing things about themselves. This is typical of the standard courtship aspect in budding relationships. I can't wait to see how Cody and Brianna voice this scene and if it will really feel like the two are flirting. Then there's the wall market scene in the recent Tokyo Game Show trailer. Cloud sees Aerith in her red dress and you can actually see as his jaw drops. This is yet another normal human response to seeing someone you find attractive. It's the little details right here that really emphasize the human aspect of these characters and how they respond as if they were real people. The fireworks were also a really nice touch that they added to this scene. It makes you wonder if the fireworks are real or if they're supposed to be in Cloud's head. I'm already excited to see scenes like this play out just because of the details like that. I'd also like to point out that we haven't seen Tifa in her wall market dress yet, so we don't know how Cloud's going to respond to her when he sees her. So now that we've discussed Aerith and Cloud, let's talk about Tifa and Cloud. Their relationship comes off deep and impactful as well, but not in the same exact way. Their pasts are intertwined in a way that Cloud doesn't remember fully. In the original game, it's his remembrance of Tifa that snaps him out of his Mako-induced delirium. He clearly has a powerful connection to her, so how is this shown in the trailers? Upon inspection, we can see that every scene they are alone together, the atmosphere is deep. Character location in a room or area are important details to notice when discussing this topic. Aerith is very close to Cloud in every scene, but with Tifa, they're both distant, and the scenes are more than just what's spoken between them. When Cloud and Tifa are alone in the 7th heaven, sharing a drink and discussing Avalanche, she sits on the opposite end of the bar. She could have sat close to him, but she chooses not to. Cloud asks Tifa if she's having second thoughts about their mission. She speaks powerfully about making a difference, about feeling regret about their methods, and feeling trapped. The two are so comfortable with each other that Tifa feels she can open up to him even about her feelings. Regardless of the distance between them, this is still an intimate moment. The inflections in her voice and the look she gives Cloud tell as much of the story as her words do. This moment appears to me like it will lead into the Promise flashback, where Tifa reminds Cloud about the promise he made in Nibelheim. This was another very intimate moment between the two and showed a budding childhood romance and friendship. Cloud promises her that he will join Soldier and promises to protect her should she ever be in danger. After the two return to the present, Tifa makes Cloud keep his promise by aiding Avalanche in their mission. In the original game, even in the text box, you can see that Cloud feels as if he's failed his promise to her. He pauses after saying he's not a hero and he's not famous. He then says, "I can't keep the promise." For me, this small statement is really powerful. Because of his childhood crush, he promises to be her hero if the time ever comes. He still harbors these feelings for her, even if they're only minor, and you can tell just by the way he talks. Cloud feels like a failure, and with the facial expression and body language we'll see in the remake, this scene will be more powerful than ever before. You'll actually hear the disappointment in Cloud's voice as he likely speaks a similar line. His facial expression and eyes will show his regret, and this is why the little details are important so that Nomura and the team can convey these emotions. I also think it shows that no matter how tough Cloud acts around Barrett and Avalanche, that Tifa can bring down these walls when they're alone. Immediately after Barrett walks in and gives him the money for the first bombing mission, he's right back to tough guy Cloud, acting as if he's only in it for the money. If this part of the scene occurs in the remake, we'll see and hear this sudden shift in action and tone. And due to Tifa knowing Cloud, she'll know that this act just isn't who he really is. This is why I feel she keeps her distance. Tifa feels like she doesn't know who this Cloud is that she sees in front of her, but when they're alone, can't help but open up to him. It's as if Cloud has the same effect on Tifa that Tifa has on Cloud. Even though she's distant, he's able to break down her walls. It's not explicitly stated, but you can find these little details if you look and listen hard enough. Then we see another scene in the Tokyo Game Show trailer that appears to be in the Shinra HQ right after the party is captured. Even though she's joking with Cloud, she's still very distant. The two could be sitting on the bed together, but she chooses to stand against the wall. She says, "I can't quite say this is what I had in mind when I asked for your help way back when." I'm not sure if she's referencing the promise scene or if she's talking about when she asked Cloud to join Avalanche. Either way, moments like these are what bring her emotional connection and reflection on the past to the forefront of their relationship. I'd also like to point out that in this scene in the original game, when Cloud speaks to Aerith, Tifa responds with a slightly jealous response. I'm hoping when this part is shown in the remake that we get to hear this little line or at least something similar. This would be another way to show that Tifa has feelings for Cloud in the remake, and hearing Britt Baron say this line would definitely be a great moment. So now that we've talked about both separately, let's discuss the moment they're on screen together. Let's look at the scene in the train yard where Aerith and Tifa each grab one of Cloud's arms. Aerith's body posture is super tight to Cloud, almost being on top of him. Tifa, on the other hand, still feels distant in a weird way. Aerith has a smile on her face, while Tifa's expression is one of fear and anxiety. Aerith is grasping Cloud tightly with both hands, while Tifa's top hand is loose and barely hanging on. So even while being close to him, she's still remaining distant. These little details show the different relationships between the characters up close. When it comes to both Tifa and Aerith, they're able to break through Cloud's tough guy act as it seems to disappear when either of them are around. Every interaction between these characters seems to emphasize the bonds they share. This proves that the love triangle is still very much alive in Final Fantasy VII Remake. Overall, we're seeing a higher level of character detail, and because of that, this love triangle will be more complicated and more expanded upon than ever before. Between jaw-dropping beauty, intimate moments, and perilous danger, Final Fantasy VII's character relationships will be more powerful than we ever imagined. Body language, voice inflections, and the cinematic nature of the remake are emphasizing details we could have only dreamed of in 1997. The voice actors are doing a fantastic job as well, and should be commended for bringing their personalities to life. So what do you think, soldiers? Are you excited to see these relationships grow throughout the Final Fantasy VII Remake? Thanks for watching, and don't forget to omni-slash that like button. Let me know in the comments section below if you're excited for the love triangle in Final Fantasy VII Remake. Subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell to join the ranks of Soldier today. And for all the latest Final Fantasy VII Remake news, rumors, and trailers, I'm Soldier First Class, and I'm on to the next mission. Later, guys.